Yeah, man.
Yo,
It's a great day today.
it's
Um,
actually like perfect weather. It's like
yeah.
the wind isn't. It's like everything's still,
hmm
still.
Still, yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. It's cool to be in the neighborhood though. It's weird. I don't know if you can like relate to this, but I had these moments where I'll be in like a moment, like a present moment,
Hmm.
and I had this epiphany, like, man, I've dreamed of this, but like not in a dramatic way,
Yeah.
and like a, it's kind of like hearing a sound, or no, it's kind of like I would compare it to a feeling like euphoria
Hmm.
and you don't know really like specifically what to call it or like where it's coming from, but it's like a familiar feeling that you feel excited about, like you get excited about. I don't know how to explain it, but
Not like deja vu though.
not like deja vu. No,
Okay.
it's kind of like one of those things where you're like, man, like I'm weird, man. I don't know.
No, it's
I don't
not. I
know.
think it's just
Yeah,
that you're just trying to articulate it. But we
yeah.
probably have had that. Is it so the feeling that you get is associated with something that's happened before, or is it associated to another emotion like joy or sadness, or so nothing particular that the moment reminds you of? It just gives you a feeling.
It's a feeling, but so like okay, like I could tell you when I was 7, I've always wanted to sit in the park and just talk to my boy. But like
Okay.
the weight of that though is kind of what I'm speaking to more than just the simplicity of doing it,
Hmm.
but kind of like in a moment where man we're in the middle of a neighborhood,
Hmm.
kicking it, chopping it up.
Yeah.
It's a cool day, you know what I mean? Sun setting, right? It's like
Yeah.
setting that tone and
It feels good.
yeah, right.
It
It feels
feels
good.
good.
Yeah,
And it feels free.
yeah,
It feels freeing. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like I've
yeah.
never. This is my second podcast episode.
That's
You
crazy.
know what I mean?
That's actually
It
crazy.
is. But
Yeah.
it being obviously in the space like we were in before,
hmm
just to be outdoors in nature just feels like I said, just feels more
Yeah.
freeing.
It doesn't
Yeah.
feel limiting, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I think the reason why I appreciate it so much is because of I think since the time we shot the first episode,
Mhm.
the camaraderie and the
Yeah.
relationship we developed,
Yeah.
the friendship, right? And I think about, I guess, on a simple scale, because we spoke about this, just the weight of friendship
Yeah.
and like really the effect and the impact it can have, on your life,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Um, and I'm saying in the sense of like right now, it's a cool vibe.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? This is something that we wanted to do, something that felt natural to get into. But I think because of our friendship,
Mhm.
it makes this more than
Kicking
what
it at the
somebody can
park.
perceive, right? Like
Yeah.
at face
Yeah. Yeah.
value type
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
Which
So
kicking it at the park is
yeah,
cool,
facts,
but
facts, facts.
excuse me, I think like you're saying, just the layers that we've developed over time and the
Mhm,
friendship and how it's being cultivated
mhm.
just makes this a lot deeper than just
Yeah.
kicking it.
Mhm.
But at face value, it is cool that we just kicking it.
Kicking it,
You
bro.
know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
just really just kicking it, cause it's cool being in the podcast space, right? But I think there's so much that comes with that, especially when you're setting the environment, right? One that you can control,
Hmm.
right? We're in a coffee shop. We can control that. We can move all the tables out the way. We can move all the chairs out the way. We can close the coffee shop. We're shooting right now. Everybody be quiet.
Yeah.
Phones off.
Yeah.
But we outside with it, man. And I
Outside
think
with it.
um, it inspires authenticity, um, and it just complements our humanity. I think because we are literally outside sitting on a bench on grass, breathing in air,
Yeah.
around trees.
Yeah.
God's creation.
God's creation.
Um, just kicking it,
Yeah.
like you said. So yeah, I just wanted to open it up. I think we should talk about our friendship, man, because
Let's do it. Let's do it.
that's like I said, it's heavy, it's weighty,
Hmm.
not in a deep, deep, deep way, but I think on a simple scale, like I said, the value of friendship
Hmm.
can influence you in ways that you would probably feel are it can feel like you can psych yourself out. Am I tripping because I want a response? Am I
Hmm.
tripping because I haven't had a checkup?
Hmm.
Am I being too invasive because I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
connect and I'm trying to go hang out?
Yeah.
Like what are the limitations? What are the boundaries and what does a friend really look like?
Mm. I
You know?
think That's broad for sure.
Hmm.
And I think for me, a lot of friendships were initially always hinged on something, whether it be I met you through church,
Yeah.
or I met you at school, I
Right.
met you through work.
Yeah.
And then that's obviously how a lot of them are cultivated because
Yeah.
they are hinged on the things that initially introduced us in the first place.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then I think when you infuse intentionality with
Yeah.
your friendships, then that's what actually can catapult it and give it direction, right?
Hmm.
Um, and in our specifically, obviously we met at work,
Yeah.
but then um, realizing the um, level of faith that we both had and how
Hmm.
we were able to connect around the Word of God and how our conversations went from 5 or 10 minute how's your day, how's work, how's this,
Hmm.
to talking about God
Hmm.
heavily, so much so to the point that we you had me featured on the first podcast and we
Yeah.
talked about it. So
Yeah.
I know that's like a long roundabout way to explain it, but I think friendships in and of themselves, are determined on how they start, but then the intention that you put into it and just kind of
Yeah.
letting it go
Yeah.
where it goes. Yeah.
And people scared of that intention word, man,
Yeah.
because that's accountability.
Yeah, 100%.
It's work.
Yeah. And
Um,
friendships are responsibility as well, which I learned.
responsibility.
Yeah.
People don't see it that way anymore. I don't think. Personally, I don't think we see that enough. Where I think it's easy to cut somebody off.
Mhm.
Rightfully so in some moments, I guess, in a way where somebody can feel justified because something was done to them.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in a sense where if one is held accountable because they're not showing up,
Mm.
they could feel justified in not showing up
Mhm.
so much that they're willing to sacrifice a really good friendship and relationship that they have with the person that held them accountable.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's and I guess I'll go back here, right? My whole childhood, I was always somebody's friend.
Okay.
In fact, my perception of being a friend was developed around just being there for people.
Mhm.
I'm the youngest of 6 kids. So I wouldn't even say my first friend was my siblings. I would say that because I wasn't paid attention to enough as a kid, I relied on relationships outside of my family
Wow.
because, I would go to the park. I would see kids at the park. Oh, let me be your friend. Let me go play football with them, play soccer, whatever, right?
Mm. Mhm.
But so much to say that when it comes to me wanting to, again, be there for somebody and me growing
Mhm.
up, that then bled into my environment and how it looked to other people. It didn't make sense
Mm.
because they weren't even used to seeing somebody who were so intentional as a friend. It was shocking.
Mhm.
Like, why is Justin? I
Yeah.
get it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we just hung out 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I don't, and I think it's easier to be that way as a teenager.
Mhm.
It's easy to be that way, more as an adolescent. But I think becoming an adult, going into adulthood, I think what's so important in adulthood is friendship. We need people. We need community.
Hundred
So
percent, bro.
why is it that somebody could feel justified in being mad at being held accountable when in reality all they had to do was say, you know what, you're right. I value you. I should have been there for you,
Yeah.
and you matter.
Yes.
Why is it so hard to say that? And why is it so hard to be humbled
Mhm.
in that area? Right?
Everybody's different. I think the older I get and the more I'm able to objectively look at things,
Yeah.
everyone has their own experience, and I think a lot of things. I won't say a lot of things, but there are different things that make people uncomfortable,
Mhm.
and we can account that to their upbringing,
Yeah.
their parenting,
Yeah.
experiences they've had or
Yeah.
have not had.
Mhm.
So I think that the older I get, like I was blessed to be in relationships where accountability is a part of the foundation.
Mhm.
So I was groomed in a sense to be held accountable
Yeah.
from the beginning. So throughout our relationship of me growing and learning or making mistakes or having conversations or doing whatever comes with the friendship, right? Just being friends with someone.
Uh huh.
I've been blessed to have someone in my life who maintains principles and standards and integrity enough to be like, that's not it. And I
Mhm.
can take it for what he's truly saying
Yeah.
because that's what our relationship was hinged on initially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
can't speak for everyone, but I can say for me, a lot of reservation has come in friendships before
Mhm.
because of my level of comfort.
Mhm.
Am I being too vulnerable? Am I being too open? Am I doing too much? Am I
Facts.
expecting too much?
Yeah.
And if I don't put myself in a position to expect too much, nobody gets hurt.
Mhm.
There's no real skin in the game and no love is lost.
And at the expense, though, I want to ask you, like, at
Hmm.
the expense of what do you feel?
Not
Or
having depth.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
because
mean?
you're giving up what makes you you
Yeah.
to please and appease other people
Yeah.
for friendship.
Yeah.
And so then it makes you think, is that even really friendship,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
Because I think when people get so caught up in sacrificing what makes them a good friend to other people and other people accept it, either the other people are not used to seeing what a good friend is, and so therefore they can't recognize or discern, oh,
Hmm.
KP is really just being a good friend,
Yeah.
right? Or are they too comfortable
Hmm.
in the lack of depth that be represented in their life by how they approach relationships? Because you got to think about it too, and let's be honest, we can be real about this. I don't want to say that nobody likes to be deep because it's not about being deep. And I hate the connotation over deep, right? There's this like fake woke, fake, like, or not fake, but this fake woke or like this deep um, thing going on where people talk about those things as, or talk about being deep as if to say like it's wrong to have depth, right? People don't have attention spans anymore. People don't have patience anymore. They don't have tolerance. And so I think when we're talking about losing depth or the expense of giving in or sacrificing yourself is losing depth or being shallow, what if we flipped it and the experience that you're having about being a friend and not giving up or sacrificing your depth? What if that was looked upon as the way to go, right? Like having depth, having intentionality, having expectations. Like, what if that was normal and not frowned upon in a way where, bro, you taking it too serious? Like, chill out. Like, why you on that type of time right now? Like, we're not even on that. Like, let's just have
Yeah.
fun. Let's just kick it, right?
Yeah.
You
It
know what I'm
can
saying?
be. I think it then goes back to how people define friendship,
Exactly. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people have different maybe variations or definitions of what friendship looks like to them
Mhm.
in their life, or maybe what they've seen in terms of what a friend is, right,
Yeah.
or lack thereof.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think with maturity, and I haven't always been like this. Like, I'm always learning, I'm always growing, and I've rarely ever done this
For
because
sure.
things have um, just unfolded organically,
Yeah.
or they didn't in some friendships.
Uh huh.
But now I'm at a place where it's like you can have that conversation
Uh
before, like, as your friendship, you know what I'm saying, progresses with whoever it is.
huh.
Just like I don't want to say housekeeping rules,
Yeah.
but just kind of touching base on, like, you don't have to pull somebody to the side like, what are you looking for in a friend, and what is this, and let's write it down. But
Mhm.
having a level understanding so you can know how to show up for someone,
Yeah.
and then also be able to have an expectation on how you
Yeah.
want them to show up for you, even if
Yeah.
that's not like, Kane, I'm expecting this from you, and this from you.
Right.
Maybe it's just a conversation about what friendship looks like to you,
Yeah.
and then it's me taking those hints and seeing if I can show up in those ways for you, and then
Yeah.
apply that.
Mhm.
And then I think that's how you ultimately get depth, or one way to
Mhm.
get depth, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of my friendships haven't relationships have been that way,
Yeah.
right, with my significant other, where it's like you get to a point where you need to talk about things and you
Mhm.
have to learn each other's love languages and
Right.
all of that.
Work.
But as far as, yes sir, just your homies, your people that you run into, your fellowship, your small groups, whatever type of environment that looks like,
Mhm.
and it is for you.
Mhm.
I think as things go deeper, it's just about having genuine conversations, or just
Yeah.
an open table
Yeah.
for people to be able to just talk about their
Yes.
experiences and what they look for in a friend.
Right.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
bro. Yeah. Like, you gotta care, right?
Yeah,
You gotta really
yeah,
care. I mean, that's
yeah.
that's really what it is. You gotta care because ultimately, if I come to you and be like, "Yo, bro, I feel like you ain't show up for me this week.
Mm,
I've been trying to get at you. You ain't been hitting me back. You
yeah,
text back late."
yeah,
If you receive it, like, man, can't you tripping?
yeah,
You really don't care,
yeah.
and that's
No,
cool. But
honest.
tell me you don't care,
Yeah,
right?
hey,
Tell me you don't care.
yeah,
Don't
yeah.
take it and then distance yourself after not taking it, making me think that I heard that you heard me,
Mm,
and but in reality, it fell on deaf ears,
yeah,
and now you're feeling resentful, and now you feel like, nah, I gotta find me some other friends because
yeah,
Kane always tripping. Kane always trying to make me be a friend. You know what I mean?
yeah. Real friendship is a beautiful thing too, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you're talking about is like the disconnect that can happen in friendships,
True.
because you've pulled up on me like that before, like not in that way where it's like, bro, what's good, but it's been like, I've been trying to connect.
Where you at?
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. And I'm like, I took it like, my bad.
Yeah.
I've been working, I've been doing this, I've been
Yeah.
moving, and again, that
Yeah.
comes, well, it
Yeah.
goes back to the relationship
Mm-hmm.
and the responsibility that comes with friendships
True.
and relationships. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So I think that took it well, only because I care, right? And I think that I know that you've been able to. That's another thing. You've been able to show up for me
Yeah.
in times as well too, without us having a conversation.
Mhm.
So it's not like I feel an obligation there
Mhm.
with a negative connotation,
Yeah.
but I do feel the responsibility to show up for you.
Yeah.
A, because yes, you did it for me, and then that's how you cultivate deep or real
Mhm.
friendships. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
And
So
you feel the weight of my observation,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Whenever we talk about it all the time, you could just look at me, I look at you, and we know
yeah,
you
yeah,
either like, man, I gotta tighten up, or I gotta tighten up,
yeah,
right? It's just how are you perceived,
yeah.
right? Especially if by the public, how are we perceived by each other, and we care about each other. We want to cultivate a relationship.
Yes, sir.
So no, I definitely appreciate you receiving me in that sense.
Same, bro. Of
Like what
course.
you're talking about, I definitely appreciate you
Yeah.
receiving me, bro.
And to kind of flip it too, I think that I've done it before
Mhm.
where, again, going back to like wanting to be like something I've battled with early on. Not
Yeah.
that it's always a bad thing. You
Mhm.
just want to be cool, right? I never go
Facts.
outside of myself so far that it's like that's not even you, and now you're doing something to gain a friendship. It's
Mhm.
not that. It's just wanting to be cool, and I think I have a heart for people,
Yeah.
so naturally wanting to show up for them in ways that I may not even be equipped to.
Yeah.
So that's another side of it, as well as also realizing like, oh, you're not supposed to be my friend. We can be
Right.
associates,
Right.
but maybe this is supposed to say surface
Yeah.
level. So it's being able to identify
Yeah.
those type of interactions too, where it might not even be a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just that, is this organically unfolding? Do
Mhm.
we agree on certain things or disagree? But is there some sort of common denominator? Is not the right term, but is there something that we feel that we can grow this friendship from? Is there
Mhm.
substance? Is there foundation?
Is it fruit?
Hey,
You know.
yeah, yeah,
Cool. Cool. All right, man. Well, that was cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Friendship.
Friendship is huge. Don't isolate yourself. Do not isolate
Never,
yourself.
man. Never.
Yeah. Um, whether it's one friend, 10 friends, but yeah, you never want to get to a place where you feel like you're alone on an island. You know what I mean? Because
Mm.
that can cause other things. So I know we talked about a lot. It might be like just a lot of information.
Yeah.
But what I would say is just I appreciate you as a friend. I
Mhm.
appreciate all the friends I have in my life.
Yeah.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to get up and call somebody with no expectations.
Right.
They're not expecting anything from me.
Yeah.
I can just I can talk about an episode of Martin from like 10 years ago that's been an ongoing joke
Yeah.
with this one friend, and then that spirals off into something else, and then now we're talking about relationships, and then what you eating today, and then I'll talk to you tomorrow, and I might not talk to them for 3 days, but we
Yeah.
pick right back up because the foundation and the depth has already been established in that friendship. You know what I mean? Not all of them are like that, but most of them are like that
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, friendship is huge for me, bro.
Yeah. Likewise, I feel the same, bro.
Yeah,
I tell you, you helped me grow.
I
You
appreciate
pour
that.
into me. You help me see myself
Mm.
as the person that I know that I am. You
Wow.
affirm me, and you know, I joked around because I know we have a bit of an age gap,
Hmm.
and one day I was telling Kayla, I was like,
That's
KB's like
crazy.
my mentor,
That's crazy that I'm
you know.
old now.
Bro,
That's
you ain't old,
insane,
man.
bro.
Stop it,
That
man.
is
Stop it.
insane.
We forever young
But I
over here,
received
man.
that, and I don't want
Yeah.
to make it
No,
seem
for
like I'm
sure.
I appreciate
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
and that means a lot, bro.
Mm.
Because I have mentors, but one specifically to look to, um, and it's huge, bro.
Mhm.
It's been pivotal in my life
Yeah.
because, and his name's Rick.
Word.
With Rick, it's not something where it's like he just tells me you do this, you do that, and you do this. Like I've seen this man walk it out
Mhm.
diligently. You know what I mean? And we all have our processes and our pain points,
Mhm.
but like mentorship in and of itself, like it's been things he hasn't said that I've seen,
Mhm.
and I've meditated on it and like got revelation through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I appreciate that, and it's not an easy thing,
Yeah.
but I'm up for it, bro, and I received that. Yeah,
Thankful.
yeah, 100%, bro.
Well, man. Hey, my dog.
Yeah.
Peace.